One of the things that I absolutely love about the book of Esther is that it teaches us the proper view of women. I mean, not only is this book named after this great Jewish woman who through her wisdom and righteousness was able to save the entire Jewish people, but when we examine the main characters on both the righteous side and the wicked side, we understand what is the proper mindset to have. Achashverosh had been a commoner who was elevated to kingship. However, he had married Belshazzar's granddaughter Vashti, and she was of royal blood. So when the text refers to her as Queen Vashti. But if you read the Hebrew, when he addresses her and he summons her to come before him, he calls her Vashti the queen. He wanted to demote her status. He was a man. He was better than her. Moreover, he summoned her because he wanted to parade her naked in front of his entire crowd. He wanted to show off his pretty object. And Vashti refused to come. Now, don't think that Vashti refused to come because she was righteous and she had morals. No, Vashti was very morally bankrupt, but she had a medical issue going on at the time, and she felt it was below her dignity to come, so she refused. Achashverosh got really mad that his queen didn't obey his orders, so he asked his advisors what he should do with her. One of his advisors said that if the queen was allowed to continue living, then it would set a precedent for all the women in the kingdom that they don't have to listen to their husbands. So off with their head. Vashti was killed, and letters were sent out all around to the men that they should know that they should rule over their households. That's the wicked mindset. Contrast that with the interactions between Mordecai and Esther. And bear in mind that Mordecai was one of the greatest people in Jewish history, and in his days, he was actually a member of the Sanhedrin. When we look at the way they interacted, we see that it was a meeting of the minds. There was this back and forth, a give and take. It wasn't subservience. Esther sent clothing to Mordecai. He refused. Mordecai tells Esther, go to the king. She refuses. Mordecai counters with an argument. You think you're going to save your soul? You might save your life, but you're not going to go down in history as doing a very good thing. Maybe you were created for this specific time. She hears what he has to say. She absorbs it, and she decides he's right. So then she formulates a plan of what needs to be done, and she tells it to Mordecai. And what does Mordecai do? He does everything that Esther commanded. There goes subservience. You see, in the Jewish view, men and women are separate but equal. We are not second-class citizens. In fact, when Adam and Eve were created, they were created as conjoined twins, and God later separated them. At our root, we are all the same. We all have holy souls. It's only the bodies that are distinguished and different. And it's not by happenstance. Everything happens for a reason. Each soul-body combination is because that is what is needed to affect this world in the way that it's supposed to be affected. We are all sent here specifically on a mission. It is true that there are distinctions that need to be respected between men and women. We each have our individual roles and our talents and our ways of thinking. And that's good, that is fine, that is healthy. We need to acknowledge that and embrace it. Mordecai was wise enough to take wisdom from where wisdom comes. It wasn't, you're just a woman, I'm not going to listen to you, shut up. No, that's a wicked way of thinking. The Jewish Bible teaches that we're all holy, we are all necessary, and each of us can affect the world in our own way.